Hi, I'm Mark. This is On Your Marks Run. This is my 5th week of Manchester Marathon training. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Hope you've had a good week, you're enjoying your running and your training is going well. I'm just out on an easier pace 5-mile run today, getting ready for the weekend. I've got a couple of runs to do. That'll be a tempo run on the Saturday and a long run on the Sunday. Yeah, so just a little recap on last week's video. I went through my 4th week of marathon training and spoke about my fueling strategy for my long runs. Hopefully you found that useful. So it's going to be a shorter video this week, just going through my 5th week of marathon training. Also a little bit of news, I've signed up to another race. It's the Lid 20 miler, which is in Kent, the south of England. Yeah, it's a flat race on sort of marshland, so it's ideal to try out my marathon paces, get a good idea of what I might be capable of for the Manchester Marathon. So this is going to be a bit of a dress rehearsal for the Manchester Marathon. So I'm going to wear my race shoes, all the other kit that I intend to wear. I'm also going to try out my fueling, make sure I'm happy with that, and yeah, hopefully it goes well. Yeah, so to kick off my review of my 5th week of marathon training, my steady runs were on the Tuesday and the Friday this week. I did 5 miles on the Tuesday and 9 miles on the Friday. Both runs were relatively easy paced. I was over the 9-minute mile pace this week, sort of recovering from the long run and also from my tempo runs. I just felt I needed a bit more recovery, so rather than do the steady pace, sort of 8:30 to 9s, I sort of crept over the 9-minute, but that's okay. I'd rather do that and focus on my 3 key runs of the week, which are my 2 tempo runs and my long run. Now, as usual, the Wednesday on my marathon plan was a tempo run again, but instead of being 6 miles this week, we've got another mile on, so I'm up to 7 miles now. It's a little bit tougher. Fortunately, my club had booked the track again, so I had use of the floodlights and a nice flat surface to run on. Now, the 7 miles on the track normally works out about 28 laps on the inside lane, but it ended up a little bit less for me because I was running on the outside lane just to keep out the way of the club runners doing their repeats. Yeah, I had a really good night, a good night of training, kept up a really good pace. I think it worked out at 7:32 average for the 7 miles. So yeah, very nice pace, really pleased with the workout. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying the track, especially in these winter months with the dark evenings. It's nice to have that surface that you can use and the floodlights. But yeah, the distance is creeping up on the tempo runs now. So the following week will be 8 miles. And it's getting a bit much really for the track. It's a little bit boring going round in circles, so I'm probably gonna head up to the seafront instead, which gives me quite a few more options. Yeah, then as usual on the Saturday in my marathon schedule there's another tempo run, but this time I usually incorporate a park run, which I really enjoy doing. This week I went off to Seaford and also celebrated the 200th park run for one of our club runners, so that was really enjoyable. Yeah, so my plan this week was to get to the park run early, get 4 miles in and try and finish near to the start time so I don't get too much recovery. So I did that. Yeah, the pace was good. I think I did about 7:40 average, which was good. That's about the sort of pace that I look for on my tempo runs. So that was the 4 miles done. And then I got started on my 3-mile park run. I think I slowed it down a touch, but the average for the 7 miles was probably around the 7:45 pace. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Yeah, so it was good. Enjoyed the park run, celebrated with my club mates, and yeah, it's a good day. Yeah, then on the Sunday, as normal, was my long run day, but this week was a step back week in the schedule, so I only had to do 13 miles, which was nice. A good chance to get a bit of recovery. Done quite a few miles lately, and the tempo runs are getting tougher, so yeah, that was quite nice to do a few less miles on the Sunday. Yeah, so we decided to go to Friston Forest in Sussex, which is a nice place to run along the fire breaks through the forest. We have had a lot of rain lately though, so it was extremely muddy, but still an enjoyable run. I did fall over once, which was a bit out of character for me, but fortunately I didn't hurt myself or anything. So yeah, it was a nice run. Ended up in the cafe after, piece of cake and a coffee. Yeah, so that was a nice way to cap off the 5th week of marathon training. Yeah, so I've got my typical 5 days of running in again this week. I totaled 41 miles of running, so that was good. I also did a little bit of cross training. I think I went out for a couple of walks, so I've got a few miles walking in too. Yes, all in all, that was a good productive week of training. Yeah, feeling okay at the minute, enjoying the training. Everything's going well at the moment. Obviously it's getting harder and harder each week as the tempo runs get longer. Obviously the long run is getting longer. I've got my first 20 next week. So obviously together with my 2 tempo runs and the steady runs, obviously that's extra volume. So yeah, the weekly total keeps increasing, but yeah, the body's holding up okay. Generally I'm feeling quite healthy, so hopefully that continues. Obviously I've got to stay on top of my nutrition, make sure that I eat well, don't overeat, because I can put on weight even after doing all these miles, so I need to eat well, eat good food, keep myself fueled. Yeah, just generally look after myself. Try to back off if I start to feel any niggles. But yeah, all's going well. But that was my 5th week of marathon training. It's not always easy to get out on those dark, cold winter evenings, but I've got it done this week. How's your training going? Maybe let us know down in the comments. It's always good to hear how you guys are doing too. But that's it for my 5th week of marathon training. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe like, subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you can see my future progress during marathon training. and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.